asking behalf of. Maybe understand your views on how enhancing productivity and retentions are interlinked. Because moment enhancing the productivity means the lower level of the organization, there will be a lot of vibrations, or people will be thinking that once productivity increase, what is our role, etc. So we want this, sir.
Sure. So, like for me, if you ask me, enhancing productivity and retention is like bread and butter. Okay. I think while it is like bread and butter, you can't have a butter. You can't have butter. You can have butter as in by itself. At the same time, you can't have bread by itself, right? So it is only when you put butter onto the bread, it actually tastes much more better. Are they interlinked? Yes, they are interlinked. Now, I would just start the discussion by asking one question: does anyone come to work to fail? The answer is a big no, right? Yeah. Does anyone start an organization? Does anyone start any activity, whether it is a 10K run, losing weight? They don't start saying that I'm going to fail, right? But somewhere during the course of the journey, people tend to give up. People tend to lose focus, and hence they fail, right? So no one obviously wants to be at the bottom of the pack. I'm sure each and every person who is there in this in this group, I can vouch and say that no one wants to be at the bottom of the pack, right? No one wants to be questioned on what are you doing, why are you not doing it, right? So if you look at it, ultimately it boils down to productivity, right? How productive is an associate there in a workplace, right? And the good part is that if they are productive, good for them and greater for the organization. That is the golden rule. And I'm sure that all of us look forward to that. Okay, all of us have been leaders, and we are still leaders in organizations, or even when we have started our own startups and all of that, right? And the larger point is that what if they are not? Okay, what if they are not? See, if they are productive, good for them, great for the organization. But what if they are not? What happens? And that is what happens in a lot of cases, right? And hence I say that productivity and retention are two sides of the coin. Okay, higher productivity gets into better engagement levels. Okay, it gets into a better work atmosphere, and then you keep doing well. Okay, you like coming to work. Okay, and hence you feel that this place belongs to me. Okay, and eventually what happens is that look at it, we actually spend more time in our office than, or rather in our workplace than in our own homes, right? And we share a lot of our personal stuff with a lot of our friends, colleagues at our workplace. Now all of that happens only when you are in the right frame of mind. Okay, if you are not in the right frame of mind, and if you are thinking that, oh, where have I joined, what is happening, then you're not going to enjoy what you are doing, right? Lower productivity, again, no engagement levels, you don't like coming to work, and the outcome is associates start looking out for some other options. While there might be other reasons too. Okay, I'm not saying that productivity is the only reason, but according to me, I feel largely that if an associate is productive, then the chances of him getting retained is very, very high. As in HR work, on that, on that associate, managers don't have to work. Saying that, managers have a lot of work before him getting productive. Okay, but once that person becomes productive, I think it really makes things easier for both the parties. Okay. Hence, higher the productivity levels, higher would be the retention. Okay, and most importantly, I think the organization machinery gets fueled okay, by hardworking and engaged employees. Okay, and again, hard work and engagement comes only when someone is productive in their works.
Yeah, absolutely well stated. And I was thinking it is a productivity and retention may be exchanging like rupee to dollar, but it is other way. It is two faces of the coin.
Yeah.
And we have one more question from the team. It is like, in your experience, may we know what are the different ways of inculcate in ways to inculcate culture of enhancing the productivity in the organization with some live practical examples? You may be having a lot.
Sure. Yeah, lots
at
of
least one or two.
Yeah. So I think the most important part is that, like, talk about productivity. Okay. So most of the time, what happens is that we talk about all these discussions during our, half yearly appraisals, and when we get in for our year end appraisals. Okay, and that is when the manager tells that, boss, you have not done anything throughout the year. Okay, now this guy would have really, like, he would have really struggled hard to do what he has done, right? So my first point, okay, like, I would probably stick to just 3 points, not making it, doing about multiple things. One is that talk about it. Okay, so if you're saying that, okay, how do I, how do I enhance productivity? Talk about it. Okay, keep talking about productivity whenever you get an opportunity. The irony is that, we all get busy with business as usual. Okay, we are all, we are all, doing firefighting in terms of saying, oh, how do I solve today's issue? Okay, but we don't look at the larger picture in terms of, like, saying that, okay, fine, this is what I need to get, and for this I need to plan ABC, input parameters. Okay, and that is going to get me the output. Okay, and largely what happens is that we work on output. Okay, so that I will, I will talk about it later. I have seen, like, discussions happening during appraisals where managers say that, boss, that's your job, like, what's new in that, like, what is the extra stuff that you have done, right? Isn't it understood that you should be doing all these works, right? But then the person who is doing the work does not he or she, they feel that, wow, I am doing an amazing job by, like, increasing my revenues, getting my CSAT better. Okay, ensuring that my vendors get paid on time. Okay, but then just imagine the associate or the employee, he just gets thrashed up by one statement saying that, well, that's your job, right? So point number one, like, talk about productivity, what is expected out of them. Okay, point number two is that make associates feel that that what you are asking them to do are actually achievable. Okay, now we should not be, like, we should not be getting into a situation where we say that, boss, I want this, right? But there is no how. Okay, how do you get this? Wo mujhe pata nahi, I am not, that is your job, right? So the moment you tell people that, yeah, it is achievable, and you also demonstrate, okay, saying that,
absolutely,
this is what you need to do, that is, the what is there, what you are supposed to do, but you also talk about the how. Okay, to make the life easier for people. Okay, then they start enjoying, enjoying the journey of moving towards
we
success.
say now, instead of yes but, yes and.
Yeah, exactly, right. And see, I'll give a very small example. Like, when I was in Bihar and I was managing distribution. Okay, one of the, like, one of the most difficult terrains to work in, but very, very emotional people and very loving. Okay, you would not hear this side of Bihar. Okay, you would always, like, hear that, oh, Bihar is like one terror place. It is not. Okay, it is. There were amazing people and very loving people. So what we saw is that, the ways of working, okay, for the frontline territory manager, that is the frontline sales guy who goes to each and every retailer and represents the brand. Okay, so he was our biggest ambassador. Okay? He was the person who would be the who would be the carrier of what is happening between the organization and the retailer, which is the customer. Right now, we made a booklet, and it had about like 20 points which a territory manager was supposed to talk, okay, to a retailer. Now, the moment we gave this, people just fell down. They said, boss, you guys are crazy. Okay, it is not possible to talk 20 things. Okay, so the first impression which came on was that, are you really like expecting me to do a tick mark and then tell that, okay, I have done all the 20 points. So we went to the market, including the complete leadership team, myself, my sales head, everyone. Okay, and we demonstrated, okay, it need not be a tick mark, right? It can be a conversation which you can do. Okay, and and obviously it was the moment they saw that, yeah, it is doable, the buy-in started coming. Okay, and that is where the moment my guy used to go to the retailer used to be really attentive, because he always wanted to know that, okay, what is new happening in the organization, what are the new products which are supposed to come. And eventually what it did was it really helped us in terms of getting the relation right with the retailer. The distributor started, so like a lot of events happened which I don't want to get in. Number 3, okay, something which I which I again keep very close to my heart is and which I again took from Airtel, is that drive never done before things. Okay, now challenge yourself, right? But again, when you as a leader, when you say that challenge yourself, it also means that you should tell, okay, you should tell the second point, how to get it done. You cannot say a never done before target and say that, boss, now it is your job to do. Okay, then you are getting into attrition. Okay, then attrition happens, right? So obviously it is a balance which a leader needs to bring in to his or her daily life in terms of getting a higher productivity. Because see, for example, in a call center environment, okay, when I was in matrimony.com, okay, when I started driving the number of calls, okay, to interact more with customers. See, because if I give say 50 leads in a day to call a customer, okay, so what a typical telecaller or a call center agent does is that one shot 50 done over. Okay, so irrespective of whether it is a R&R or whether they have been able to establish connect with the customer, right? So then we went on and said that, okay, yeah, exactly. So then we went on and said that, okay, I understand that you are doing dial outs, okay, but now I want connectivity. Okay, so that was again a never done before input parameter. Okay, I'm not talking about outputs here. Okay, so then what happened was that people started realizing that if I talk to more number of customers, the chances of me getting a communication, okay, or rather if I dial more number of customers, right, the chances of me being establishing a communication is very, very high, and hence my conversions also will move, and hence my I end up doing a never done before output. So if your input is not never done before, your output is not going to be never done before. Okay, so if you are talking about a never done before number, you need to have a never done before input. Okay, so without that, without a never done before input and never done before output doesn't happen. So according to me, only 3 things. Most importantly, talk about productivity. Productivity targets have to be achievable, and also leaders have to demonstrate, right, as to how it needs to be done. Leaders have to talk about how rather than what. Okay, what everyone knows. And third is that driving up never done before inputs, and obviously because of that outputs would also happen.
Wow. Thank you so much for classic examples. And we have one more question from the team, that retention is the prime agenda of top management for most of the organization, or every organization, or especially for the top performing or productivity demonstrated people. And please share your unique way of retaining top talents.
See, I think, like, it's not like, you don't have to go to Harvard to learn this. Okay, I've always felt that the most simplest things are the most, like, they're the most basic things. Okay, and it's unfortunate that people really, like, don't do basics, and that is where people think that, okay, you have something which is called as, B2B, which is called as back to basics. It is so unfortunate that you need to run an agenda called back to basics, right?
Back to basics, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
so exactly. So the most important thing in terms of retention is, the biggest point is that do not get a wrong person to do the job. Okay, so today I might not get the right person, I might have challenges in terms of getting the right person. It doesn't matter. Okay, because the moment you try to fill in a person who is not able to discharge his duties, so what happens is that, one is that the person is not enjoying. Okay, two is that you are not enjoying. Okay, and three is that there is no productivity. Correct? Because you've just done a shift. Correct? So that is the most important thing, right? So for me, if I am recruiting someone, if I'm not convinced, I would not take that person. I would not do a makeshift arrangement, because the amount of time an organization, or leave the organization, even today when I am like when I am an entrepreneur, I look at this in a big way, because the amount of training I do, the amount of time I spent in terms of making people understand. Okay, that is the most important thing. Okay, if you say that, okay, what is the unique way of retaining top talent? I think the first one is that don't get the wrong ones inside. Okay, so then we can talk about making them top talents, right? Point number one. Point number two is that make those people who are top talents feel that they are top talents, right? Suddenly, like at the end of the year, they should not feel that, whoa, I am a top talent, I never realized it, right? So that is something which is very, very important. Like, see, when you walk down the aisle, appreciate them. Okay, you need not wait for an opportunity or for a R&R session to appreciate, right? Because you know who is working and who is not, right? Even if you are a manager, and if you have multiple teams, and even if that person is not reporting into you, because you sit in a boardroom, you know who are the people who are contributing to different departments, right? And hence it becomes a larger thing when a different department person actually goes and tells another department person, saying that, hey, like, you guys are doing a fab job. Okay, so that sort of pushes the energy level in a big way. Okay, and most important is that make them feel important. Okay, when they come to work, right? They have to feel important. They have to feel that they are a part of a vision. Okay, they have that they are a part of an agenda. Okay, and they can't be like running away from problems. Obviously problems will be there, right? Most for me, if you look at it, there are only three mantras, okay, for retaining top talents. Okay, one is, you please do a correct download, okay, of what is your expected productivity. Okay, it should not come as a shocker to that person when you have a discussion, if at all you have a discussion during an appraisal. I know a lot of organizations don't even have a one-on-one discussion during appraisals, right? Second, how to do, I have mentioned the same things. Okay, saying that how to do rather than what to do. Okay, and then keep appreciating performances, make them feel very important. And see, money is important. Okay, a lot of people might be thinking, but this guy is not even talking about money. It is not because I have become an entrepreneur that I'm not talking about money. So my point is that money comes in secondary. Okay, they would have joined in because because they are expecting some kind of money, right?
Yes.
So money comes in later, comes in about 2 years, 3 years later, because anyone understands that, okay, I am that I will be getting X amount of hike. Okay, I understand that, these days the tech guys are too much in demand, so leave the tech guys aside. Okay, but if you look at all other departments, okay, we see that they have a fair understanding as to how appraisals happen. Okay, because they would have come from different organizations, they have an experience, right? And hence, according to me, money is important, but money is
Secondary.
from an associate's perspective. Okay, that is not in my control. Okay, what is in my control as a manager, okay, is correct download of expected productivity, tell them how to do rather than
What to do?
what to
What
do.
to do?
Okay, and 3 is that keep appreciating people of their performances, and then you are there. That's about it.
Thank you so much. And I really like the B2B, back to basics. And I am also sometimes hearing even 10 years, 15 years later, again, back to basics.
Exactly.
Yeah. And 3 mantras, that also, it is really good to hear from you, like correct expectation or productivity, how to do rather than what to do, then appreciate as and when, or frequency of appreciation has to be increased probably.
Yeah.
And instead of having a one-to-one discussion in the end of the year, etc.
Correct. Absolutely.
So any more questions from the team, or I can hand over to Mr. Prakash?
Okay, good. Maybe we'll give all the other people an open opportunity, Umesh, so they also can ask. Wonderful. Thanks, Umesh, for asking those couple of questions on behalf of the community. Wonderfully shared. Thanks very much, Umesh, for doing it. So
thank you so much.
Wonderful. Always. So wow, it was a great, Jubby, for listening from you in terms of a couple of points. And I really like the third point which you said, more about try, never done before, right? The never before things, right? So which is reminding about one quote also which I read. To get what we have never had, we must do what we have never done. It's almost a similar one. So it's almost, that's what, in fact, I was sharing. It was very wonderful, rightly said. You put it in your own words, try, never done before things. So yes.
So that is not my words. So, like we have, when we were in Airtel, we used to have all these activities. Okay, we do never done before activities and all of that. So like I don't want to take the credit of what was done by, what I learned. Okay, but then it is my.
Definitely.
It is my duty to, exactly. So it is my duty to pass on what I learned and what I still hold it very close to my heart.
Yes. Definitely. Those are other ways of saying, but definitely, yes, I really appreciate those points, what you've shared. 3 awesome points. And I'm sure that let's also take it from the members' thought process. We're going to conduct a small quiz now, Jubby, for just a couple of minutes. And then is where we will have an open question. Is that okay, Mr. Jubby? Just 2 minutes?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Great. Thanks very much. So members and visitors, now is the time for the quiz. Now that you are aware that, yes, Mr. Jubby was discussing and sharing his experience about enhancing productivity and how do we really retain people, and excellent questions has been asked by Mr. Umesh as well. So now is the quiz time. So stay tuned. Fastest fingers first. Those are the fact Mr. Rangarajan is going to share with you all. So Rangarajan is from Nash Industries. He heads the production. So thanks very much, Rangarajan, for taking up this role. And over to you, Rangarajan, for the quiz. Yes, Rangarajan, you can go ahead for the quiz.
Yeah, thanks, Prakash, for giving the opportunity. Yes. As it is told, faster finger first. My question is, what are all the 3 ways for enhancing the productivity?
Okay, so with Mr. Jubby said that the 3 ways to enhance productivity is what he said. Jubby nailed it as 3 points. So those 3 points is what you're asking. Am I right, Rangarajan?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wow, that's good. Let's see the answers in the chat box. So Mr. Jubby had shared 3 pointers for enhancing productivity and 3 bullet points he shared, and he kept repeating also
Yes.
that a couple of times, and I'm sure, let's see. So Varsha shared the correct point. One.
Even I think the third point you already told just few minutes before.
So Varsha says 3 points. Talk about what is expected from them.
Yeah.
Okay. Or talk about
Make them
productivity.
feel
Correct?
achievable and demonstrate. Yeah.
Achievable. Demonstrate. And then we also talk about productivity. What is new in the market? Try never done before things.
I think
Good.
Varsha told all the 3 answers. She holds the.
Okay. That's what Varsha.
Congrats, Varsha.
Wow. Good, Rangaraj, and thanks very much for that quick quiz. So that goes to Varsha, and Senthil also shared all the 3 later. But yes, Senthil, before that, I believe Varsha shared one after the other, separately. Good, Varsha, wonderful. So those are 3 pointers. So congratulations, Varsha. You get Amazon gift voucher of 250 rupees. So congratulations, Varsha, for taking it through. And there is a little pending from our side of sharing this Amazon gift voucher. It's already been quickly purchased, and people for this month who all get to receive will be receiving it shortly to your respective WhatsApp. So congratulations, Varsha, for receiving this Amazon gift voucher. Great. Varsha, since you have taken it up and then did it, would you like to ask any specific question to Mr. Jubby? If so, then we'll give you an option to unmute yourself. Just a minute, and we take it forward. Varsha would like to take it up. So we have given an option to unmute yourself, Varsha.
Thanks, Prakash.
Yes.
It was a good evening, Jubby. It was wonderful listening to you on a very pertaining topic, especially in the current trend scenarios. So my question again is more about John. How does this productivity and retention happens in a startup, as now you're into the entrepreneur side, where initially I think again people focus more on the business or the numbers. They don't pay attention to all this much. In that case, how do we still, or is there any other practice that you would like to share with your experience that could help?
Hey, hi, Varsha. Varsha, again, like I have worked in startups myself, okay, and I don't think I have a 4th point, okay. Just that a few startups, really want to get onto the, the pedal really very hard, okay, and that is where, and I'm sure those startups are really not worried about attrition. Okay, so here if we are talking about a product which is about a discussion which says that productivity and retention, then I think this is applicable for people who believe that I am looking at a larger vision. Okay, I am not looking at people who are going to come over here, work for 3 months. If they do not perform in 3 months, they perish, right? So hence what happens is a lot of startups pay obscene kind of money. Okay, now when they pay obscene kind of money, what also happens is that they expect productivity without any direction, right? Now, so for an employee, there are 2 options. One is that you join a startup which pays you a lot of money and expects you to come with comes with a lot of expertise and start performing from day one, right? So I am not going to tell you anything that is not my expertise. I am paying you please start performing, right? But option number 2 is that join a place where they are not really like into this whole thing of numbers. Okay, they will not pay you very high salaries. Okay, but those are the places where you can really spend time in terms of see progression month on month, and obviously as the organization grows, the founders also would like to have people who are ready to fall in the second slot. So the basics still remain the same for me.
Does it really happen, just to extend this question with your thoughts, So just does it really happen in the startup where people, take up the third mantra and do on a consistent basis, appreciating people, because there you don't again have, a constant connect. They don't get into frequent conversations. They don't have R&R, so they don't have all the structures or the systems in place.
Yeah.
In that case, I think, in my perspective, this is again, as a leader, yes, if they take up the step to do this, well and good. What if doesn't happen? In most of the cases, I see this doesn't really happen at a continuous basis. So what are
Yeah.
your thoughts?
My thoughts is that as leaders, make it happen.
Okay.
Right. So see, the whole discussion is that it is not happening. Right now, if you want to bring in that change, make it happen. It is as simple as that.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wonderfully shared, Jubby. That was one word answer. Just make it happen. Definitely, yeah. A couple of startups, R&Rs, they only focus on numbers. Very valid question which Varsha asked. And as Jubby rightly told, just make it happen, and that's where you make the difference. True. Super. So the members and visitors, now is the time for open questions. Specifically to this topic, if you feel that you can ask any question, if you have any question, now is the time to ask Mr. Jubby, and he's here with us so that he'll be able to, he would love to answer for your challenges in terms of enhancing productivity or in terms of retaining top talents. So definitely, so that's how enhancing productivity and retention both comes into picture. So yes, we have Mr. Devarayan. But before we go to Devarayan, let me introduce also Ms. Varsha. I missed introducing Varsha. Mr. Jubby, Varsha is an emotional intelligence practitioner. So maybe a couple of questions you might have asked, you would have understood. But thanks very much, Varsha. Really helps and understands us more. So I would request, yes, Mr. Devarayan to go ahead, and he also asked a specific question. And after this, we'll be able to summarize. After this question, Jubby, is that okay? We can summarize and then we come to
Sure. Done.
Yes, Devarayan, over to you. And would like quickly give a short intro about yourself for 10 seconds and then go ahead with the question. Add value, Devarayan.
Thanks, Prakash.
Yes.
Thanks, Prakash. Sorry, I may be disconnected because I'm in a very low connectivity areas. Sorry if it is happening.
Oh, okay.
I'm working for Hitachi Energy and I'm heading compliances, HR compliances for Hitachi Energy group of companies in India. Jiju.
Great.
Okay. So, actually, without wasting much time. So my question is maybe it's not for me, for the entire group. These people say that, hey, the productivity of the person increases, so maybe the chances of going out of the person is high. Maybe we talk about retentions, right? Maybe the productivity goes high. He feels that, so maybe he is superior than, okay, he is superior, and maybe he will have a lot of what do you call it as scope outside, a lot of growth outside, and other stuff. So maybe that's another thought process that is there in the industry. So what do you want to say about it?
Good question. So see, I have this one more mantra, which I've got this one more mantra, and it helps me a lot. So Devarayan, my point is that can you do anything about what he's thinking and what he's what he's looking at, right? You really can't. Okay, he's a performer. If you really don't give him the importance, if you don't feel that, if you don't make him feel important in the organization, then he's bound to leave. I'm sure, I'm sure all of us who have worked in different organizations have left organizations, right? So I have started my career in Saregama. I was there for 3 years. I moved to Airtel. I joined Reliance. Again, I joined back Airtel. So that goes on, right? So that is not in your hands, right? But at the same time, the question is that how, how are you going to do your bit to ensure that he does not think that? Okay, right? So what is not in your control, you really should not worry about it. Okay, what is in your control, you should really worry about it. Okay, you should start implementing what you should be doing. What is not in your control, just relax about it.
Right. True. Good one. Yes, Dev. Thanks for sharing that question. That was awesome.
Sorry, there was some noise, so I was supposed to mute myself. Thank you.
Thanks for
No, you were perfect.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Great, Dev. An awesome question. Definitely. And Mr. Jubby, one more question. I believe one more hand raise has happened from Mr. Sendil. So is that okay? We take one more question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, okay, great. Yes, Sendil, please go ahead. We give you an option to unmute yourself as well. Yes, sir.
Sendil
Yes,
is not unmuted.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Please go.
Yeah. It was really a great session from Mr. Jubby. Thank you very much. But when we talk about the retention of the employees, I look on the other side. In the sense, a successor or the employee who is working in a team, how will he get an opportunity when I try to retain a leader in that forum, since because the leader is bringing more productivity? How will I balance this retention of this leader and the young, nourishing team member who is looking for a growth?
It is good, right? So,
no, but this guy is giving a threat to the team that he may try to look for opportunity or expert for opportunity. But how will I retain this leader as well as this team member who is ready to leave or who is future ready?
So, see, obviously, when you have got two great people in one team, okay, this I've seen, this has been my experience. What I do is that just to, ensure that I have the best of both these guys, I pick up the young guy, give him a smaller team, ask him to groom the newbies, right? And then, so what happens is that the man who is the leader is fine. Okay, he goes about doing his job, okay, taking care of the productivity of others. Whereas the other person, the young leader, yeah, exactly. So you give them a smaller team, make them feel that, yeah, he's capable of being a leader. And when opportunity comes in, when obviously when the markets grow, when business grows, give him the same role, which is boss was managing. But obviously, you are not going to give him the same turnovers or the same geographies, right? Right. The size would obviously differ, but as long as the roles are there. So I'll give a small example, just to make it much more clearer. When I was in matrimony.com, I used to really look for people who were within the team. Okay, so what happens here is that if you don't, groom future leaders, okay, what are they looking at? They're looking at saying that, boss, I am a performer, right? And do I have a future over here, right? So I started creating a position which was called as acting team leaders. Okay, and whichever the number of new people who came in was under this person. Okay, obviously, while a team lead used to manage about 15 people, a manager used to handle 100 people. This guy will be managing 5 people, but this gives a huge impression to this guy, saying that, yeah, I am valued in the organization, and I really don't have to start looking for a job, because within a year or 6 months I will also become a team lead with about 15.
True. Very relevantly told. So
I hope your answer, I've got your I've been able to answer your point.
Thank you.
That's a good question. Thanks very much. It was very necessary. That acting team leaders, wonderful points, that really helps a lot. Wonderfully shared. That's a great experience for us. Good one. So great.
I can see someone put a chat. Meetings eating away productivity. People always pulling on unnecessary meetings, discussions. and no clear outcome or actions at the end. Please speak to your managers.
True. Definitely.
Yeah, I think it is also very important. I think it is also very important that, you have to be sometime local, or, vocal to your managers. Okay. And, but then, like you don't have to, you should not go and tell when he is asking you for productivity. Okay. So when your manager asks you for productivity, if you go and tell boss, you are always taking meetings, when will I have the time to work? You're going to get it from him. So you should tell it to him in a, like in the best possible time. Okay. Probably after office, or when you go for a chai downstairs, anywhere for that matter.
The timing of sharing is very, very important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Good one. Wonderful, Mr. Jubby. So great. So wonderful members who have all been participating excellently. So Senthil, since you have taken, I'm going to share I request you to share the quick summary of what are the key takeaway points. And definitely would like to come to an end of the meeting. And I would definitely like to thank also Prabhakaran for introducing Mr. Jubby Jacob, definitely. So, but let's finish up the summary and then we will go. Yes, Senthil, quickly go ahead with the bullet points of summary.
Yeah, thank you very much. As a leadership connector, I would like to take this opportunity to sum up the 10 mantras for today's session.
Oh, 10 mantras come up. Good one. Please, start.
Time is pressing. Our first point was there was a big analogy on the title of the topic. How the productivity and retention is mapped. The analogy is like bread and butter, or it may be two sides of a coin. Yes. So that's how both goes hands on hand in any organization. And the second topic, what I would like to bring here is everyone in the career wants to pursue or strive or thrive. No one wants to be at the rock bottom. The moral of here is, what we understand here is over a period of time, either they lose focus or give up. So only on these two background, they either go to the rock bottom, which can be tuned or tweaked by doing introspection within themselves. And third point is there are three key essence of high engagement to increase the productivity. One is talk about productivity, and the other one is what is new in the market that we need to thrive and explore. And third one is never try always, never done things before, which was followed in a Airtel. Apart from that, to retain the right person in organization for the right fit job, there are 10 takeaway points, as we can say as mantra. One is do not get the wrong person. Do a best B2B analysis, back to basis analysis, and get the right job on performing person on board. Second mantra is make them feel important on the organization. Third is focus on how to do. Must be clearly defined than what to do. Fourth mantra is money is not everything. Money comes as a period of experience. Frequent appreciation plays a vital role, and always have a one-to-one discussion to understand better. Seventh is make employee feel always achievable. As a leader, at any given point of time, try to make it happen. So that should be the key role of a leader.
Yes.
Ninth mantra is focus on what is in your control and be relaxed on what is out of control. And last is nothing but encourage the acting team leader.
Good. Acting team leader. That's a very nice point. Wonderfully noted, Senthil. Wow. Good. So now they made it as 10 bullet points or 10 mantras you made. I'm sure Jubby is now, you are mentioned for, you're going mainly for mantras, and I'm sure Jubby's mantras will definitely
I'm not sure whether 10 is going to work. Just stick with 3 and then probably get on to the remaining.
And of course, it has worked in your experience. So we believe and we strongly believe on that.
True. Hey, thanks very much for sharing that also, Senthil, on the chat box itself, all those 10 pointers, which has been taken it down very quickly and neat. Your chairman summarized. Thanks very much, Senthil, for doing it so great. So last but not least, before we come to an end and introduce to the next week's leader, I would request, Mr. Prabhakaran to please share a couple of words, and then about Mr. Jubby. Yes, Prabhakaran, please.
Thanks, Prakash, and thanks, Jubby sir, for being here. It's a very graceful session. I mean, what he has not said during this course as a leader is
Okay.
he connects personally to the people. So
Okay.
that is very, very important of a leader to gain the trust of the team member.
True.
He connects personally. He knows people on their personal front also. And that is a very real connecting factor, which he has not spelled out. He follows, and I love that.
Great. Thanks, Prabhakar, for sharing it, and
Thank you, sir.
The next, through you, we are able to interact. We're able to get an opportunity to interact and listen to Mr. Jubby. Great. So keep doing it, up and going. So all the members and visitors, I'm sure week after week is what we keep doing it. So let's have a quick listen from the vote of thanks. I would request Mr. Pankaj Vyas, the managing partner of Visa Training, to share the vote of thanks for all. But before we get into the vote of thanks, anybody else wants to share any of the points? If so, yes, otherwise time is also pressing. If you have any more questions, kindly mention them in the chat box, and then we shall take that separately during our reflections episode, because next week we have our reflections episode. So over to Pankaj Vyas for sharing the vote of thanks.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Yes.
And indeed, it's a great session today by Mr. Jubby Jacob, sir. So, sir, really, I really loved your mantras, and the best one even I liked was the back to the basics, because that's the basics are the most important thing for any individual, right? So thank you so much for sharing all those mantras with us, and I believe that will definitely help each one of us. So before me sharing about the next week leader, let me quickly share the purpose of the community. For the visitors who are visiting for the first time, Leaders Connect 360 Degree is an online leadership community where every week on a Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. we invite a top management leader from a reputed corporate company to share the solutions for our real-time leadership challenges, either on leading self, leading others, or leading your business, like how we have seen Mr. Jubby Jacob today. This Leaders Connect 360 online leadership community does not stop in sharing learnings, but also on the last Wednesday of every Wednesday, we network with the like-minded working professionals who are interested in the constant growth. That's when we call the leaders creating more leaders. If you wish to join our community, please click on the WhatsApp group link, which is on your chat box, and you will be able to join us to receive weekly updates or call us on the number shared on WhatsApp. But then we will add you in our community. So, Jubby Jacob, sir, thank you so much for spending your valuable time and sharing your experiences and solutions. Thank you so much, sir.
It's a pleasure. It's really been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. So we wish the members and the visitors to stay back for the networking session for next 10 minutes. Thank you so much. And here I would like to play the video, a thanking video. Over to you, Prakash. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Pankaj. And before I play a thanking video, as we shared for networking, Mr. Jubby, what we do is after the end of every episode, we have a small networking amongst our group here, and they share about either the needs, the offers, the learning or experiences. So anyone. So if time permits, please feel free to stay. Otherwise, if you have any other commitment, that's completely fine as well. So that's how
much time would this take?
It will take another 10 minutes time is what is it, but it's up to you. At any time you can.
Yeah, so I would move out because I need to
completely
move.
completely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's really been a pleasure to talk to all of you.
Thanks very much, and that will be great. And we'll stay in touch, Mr. Jubby. Thank you all.
Yep.
So yes, for all the members and visitors, as well as the guests, from thanking video, and then we start our networking. Oops. I believe there's a quick glitch at the video, but that's okay. We continue on our networking. But thanks very much. Thanks, Prabhakaran sir, for joining us here today, and then awesome interaction with him we had. So great. So all the members as well as the visitors who have come here for the first time, now this is the time for networking which we have. So as I shared that there are ways of doing, we call it as NOEL, ways of networking. So either share a need from you or your company, which you have any, you can share it now, you can share it here. That's how we network with people. Or you have an offer you want to give. So share an offer now, that's what also been possible, or share your experience as well as your learning. Any of these we call it as NOEL, ways of networking. So we have a couple of new people also joined us today, and then we request them to also introduce, and then slowly one after the other, we also take it forward. So I believe we have Ms. Manimuri, right? Manimuri Suresh. So Ms. Manimuri would like to unmute yourself to speak, and I also will give you the option to unmute yourself all, so that you all will be able to unmute yourself now. And Umesh, I'll definitely come back to you. Awesome. Thanks very much for your panel discussion leaders role also what you have done. Just let's wait for Manimuri to speak. Manimuri, would like to introduce yourself, as I believe you are joining us for the first time, Manimuri.
Hi, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Hi. So I got introduced to this group by Prabhakaran sir. So I've been working for him for my big break. So eventually I know Mr. Jubby sir as well.
Oh,
so
wow,
so
that's good. That's good.
So
that's good.
I'm working as a freelance resume writer for them and for their recruitment skill system. So that's about me. And I have good years of experience working for recruitment and resume writing. So I just joined a year ago for my big break and going through the way. Thank you, Prabhakaran sir, for making me get connected on this
Thanks
group.
for joining.
Sorry, I was a little bit late, but anyway, I joined and it was wonderful.
Thank you for joining.
And even I know Jubby sir's skill, especially as you were telling, right? His skill of connecting people personally. So like it's so it's one of the specialized skills. So it was great having a session with him. Nice. Thank you for connecting with me.
Thank you.
Yes, always. Wonderful, Manimuri. Thank you. It is nice knowing you, and you've been here as a part of our community. Good one. So this happens every week, Wednesday, as how Mr. Pankaj shared, for free, which is a part of a CSR initiative. Anytime you'd be able to.
Sure. Thank you. I'll be really participating every week. I won't mess it up. Thank you.
Definitely, Manimuri. Great. And let's move ahead. Yes, Umesh Shetty, how do you feel your experience as a part of NOEL? I would like to ask your experience here in the E as a panel discussion leader. Please go ahead. And let me remove all the spotlight so it helps us see only the person who's speaking now. Yes, Umesh, go ahead.
Yeah, it is maybe it is outside my comfort zone. Probably. I'm maybe doing which I have not done earlier. Probably that is why what exactly told by Jubby.
True. So how do you feel about that, Umesh? You're doing this.
Yeah, maybe I'm not very exciting or stable.
Good.
It is good. Thank you so much for the opportunity to
always
have the panel discussion.
And that's a kind of a demonstration what you're all telling, right? So moving away from the comfort zone is one demonstration.
Yeah.
Second demonstration is, as now Jubby told, try the never done things.
And third one is I have also done your what you call that 360-degree assessment.
True.
And part of that it may be an improvement program as well.
Definitely. Always
Very
look
good.
forward. Wonderful, Umesh. Great.
Thank you.
Yes, so who else would like to go share any? Now is the time for networking, as they shared. So either share a need with you, with your company, if you have any share, or you want to give an offer, please feel free to share, or experience or learning. But before we all leave, let me share with you this important point. Upcoming month, April month, is our networking month and offline networking month. We all have discussed last month itself, last week itself. So on 10th of, I'll be sharing these announcements on our groups. On 10th of, we have that Pankaj ready? No, great. Then please share that screen that will add a lot of value. Yeah, Pankaj is sharing the screen. 10th of April is at Bangalore. We're going to have offline networking meets. Venue will be sharing it shortly, and which venue in each of these places is where. And 16th of April, we are having an offline networking meet at Pune. So, and 24th of April is going to be in Chennai, and 1st of May is going to be in Hyderabad. So all these places we're having their offline networking meet. So people whom you all know that this is, please feel free to share it with them. They all can join us for the offline networking meet. We understand deeper because we all understand that networking is the way to keep growing constantly, and this networking will help us. One, always we've been doing this online networking, but offline networking in the coming month, all these locations will definitely add a lot of value. If you have any of your colleagues, any peers in the respective locations also, please do inform them, and that they can also block the date for this offline networking meet, and they can join us, and we're able to understand each of these people more and add a lot of value to our community where every person can grow together. Thanks, Pankaj, for sharing that slide. That'll add a lot of value there. Great. So others, anybody else would like to share any of your needs, offers, experience, learning? Great, great. Thanks, Umesh, for sharing that message in the chat box. We have Nellai, we have Nagaraj, we have Sendil, Umesh, other people are there in. Great. If you have any needs, please feel free to share. Prabhakaran, is there a need you want to share, specifically highlights? You can, or maybe offers, definitely you can. Yeah. Nellai, any specific needs you have in you and your company?
No, sir, not at the moment.
Specific. But I'm sure we all are able to understand what the need mean now. A need is a specific need which you have for yourself or a company. That means in case I need, let me share a need from my side so that will add more value. That maybe let me start a need itself. So as I'm also traveling to definitely to Bangalore or to Bangalore is what first I would take. The need is if you have any connections with Toyota, and we do a lot of training programs, we all understand. And any person here has a connection with Toyota where you'll be able to connect us to Toyota, that's a specific need which you like to ask from our side. And if you're able to connect us, that'd be really great. And the offer which we actually share also is many. We share most of our programs with most of the corporate companies, and we offer our services to them in terms of behavioral and leadership. That's what we do. So Toyota is what our need is there. Feel free to share across. So anybody else would like to share their respective need, please feel free. So where all we are able to connect, we'll connect. If not, we'll come to an end of our episode and then we close for this week. So I believe all are done, and I'm sure it's an awesome episode. Thank you very much, Prabhakar, once again. Thank you, Rangarajan, for the quiz. Thank you very much, Pankaj, for sharing the word of thanks. And all the people, Umesh, for the panel discussion leader. And thank you all for participating as well. Thank you, Sendil, for summary as well. Awesome 10 mantras, bullet point summary. You made it. Good. And we all will catch up again next week on our reflections episode. In the reflections episode, this time it's going to be purely networking. So please do join, invite more other people. I'm sure it will be much more interactive networking, which will be taking up the next week. So until then, stay back, relax yourself, stay safe, enjoy the week, and keep doing up and more. Enhance our productivity, let's enhance our retention levels. That's what we've got to know from Mr. Jubby. And thank you all. Meet you all again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhakar. Thank you.